Hello and welcome to the updated version of NextNav. We added a bunch more features and we wanted to make another tutorial video to show all those features. So the first thing you're going to want to do to use NextNav is just open up an Next.js app. So here we have one, and go to extensions and NextNav and download it. Then once you have it downloaded, you can just hit Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P depending on what thing you're on. Hit NextNav, and what it does is it will try to find a source app folder in your directory. So in this case, we don't have a source app folder, we just have an app, so it gives you like a dummy tree of what everything will look like. So here's the directory tree, it's just dummy, none of this stuff does anything. But let's say we actually want to see our app starting with the app. So what we can do is we can right click, we can copy path or relative path. I like to use relative path because they're all the same on every platform, so it's consistent, but it should work on every platform if you use a normal one too. We looked for that as well. So type in app, and here is our directory. So you could see, like, if we look on the left, the app has a chat API share and sign in. You can see that a lot easier now. And also all these page TSX and all these different routes, you can see in here. So this is what it looks like. You can also display it like this if you want to. You can also zoom in and out. You can move anything you want. And so let's take a look at like how we can do a bunch of things. So first of all, in each folder, we have all the files in here. So as you can see in the app, the actual files that are in our folders are actions, globals, and layout. And so this is actions, globals, and layout. So you can see the icons. We limited to 9 icons, just so like if you have a components folder like here and you have a billion things, we don't want to have a huge component. So if we actually do that, so if we copy this one and we put it here, then you can see in this components, it only shows you like 8. And then you can click on more files to see the rest of it. So if you click on more files, you'll see all of them. Okay, so let's go back to our app. And yeah, you just click in here, you just put in your file path, and then it will give you your new directory. So you can also click in here, like if you can click on any one of these to open this. If you want to open like actions, for example, you can click on it. Here's your actions file. Go on and click on globals, and you can click in here and actually click on the file you want. And that will do that. Now, we also added a couple more things for better access to things. So let's say you have a huge production app and you have like 30, 40 folders and you don't want to see this whole thing, right? What you can do is you can obviously pick a new route. Like you could say like, well, I don't want the app to be my route because it's too big. I'll just pick a subfolder and then I'll click a route. But now you can actually do this in this UI. So let's say we don't want the app to be the root of our tree. We want the API to be the root of our tree. So you can actually click in this subtree now, and the API will be the root of our tree. And you can keep going deeper and deeper as long as there's things to go deeper into. So you can keep going here and keep going here, and there's nothing left. And then you can go back to where you came from. So you can hit previous tree, previous tree, previous tree, and this is where we came from. And the previous tree will get deleted every time you, like it won't remember every time you put in a new route, but as long as you didn't put in a new route, as long as you did this like recursive going down into future trees, you can go back up. Another thing we had before was for all your folders, it'll tell you if it's a client or a server. So it says server here. I don't know if this app has any client components. So, but regardless, a couple other things that we still have from before. So if we want to add a folder, let's say we want to add a folder to this ID. So we can add a folder called like test. Here it is. We can add files just by typing like page.tsx. So copy this a few times. Page 2. Maybe we want to add index.html or something. And so on. So you can add whatever you want. It'll be in here. You can open it all just like this by clicking. So sometimes you will click and you'll think like it's not working. So the reason is it's a little bit sensitive. So if you click and you drag, it will drag your component. So the reason sometimes you click and it won't do anything is because you're clicking and your mouse is moving. So if your mouse isn't moving, then it will always open it correctly. So that's just like a little thing with the UI, how it works. So regardless, you can add files, you can delete files. You can also add folders by this plus. You can also delete folders. Deleting folders depends on your permissions. Like sometimes it'll not let you delete because you don't have permissions. But like for this folder, since we added it, we are allowed to delete it. So here we can just say test. It'll ask you to confirm it and then you can delete it. And so if we do that one more time, we add test. Yeah, so you can basically hit test. You can either hit enter or confirm, either one, it will delete it. And so that all works. Another thing we added was a status bar icon. So if we close this up, if you click on your status bar, you can enable NextNav. And now when you click on NextNav, it'll open up. So it currently doesn't remember where you were last. I don't know if that's useful. Let us know in like any kind of social media or the GitHub, and then we can definitely add that or any other issues we have. But for right now, it just basically opens it up again, so you don't have to open it up in the command palette. And yeah, so we also fixed, so a couple of the issues we fixed were the routes for Windows were like a little bit buggy. So we fixed that. So now you can do like a copy path. Like currently I'm actually on Windows. So if I do a copy path, this works now, and it used to not, because like the routes in Windows are a little bit different than like Mac and Linux and so on. So it works. Let us know if you have any kind of route issues. I would say though, for simplicity, just always use a relative path, just because it's a lot cleaner. So like instead of having that whole thing, we just have like an app. And also you don't even have to copy it. Like if you know your app starts with app or source app, or like let's say I have a components folder that I can clearly see here, then I can just click on it and it'll have it. So here there is a client. So this is a client folder, and you can do the same kind of thing. So we can like subtree, we can go back, do all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's all the main features we have so far. So hopefully you guys find it kind of useful. Let us know what you think. Yeah, let us know what you think of the video on LinkedIn, Twitter, or in the actual GitHub. If you have any problems, you can say them there. Also, if you want to contribute, you can also make a pull request in the GitHub. We're definitely looking for people to contribute, and we're going to do like a huge redesign of this thing coming up. So there's going to be a lot more features. It's going to be a lot more responsive. We're changing the way we're displaying everything. So it should definitely be a lot better. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the extension.